Wonderful evening, guys. Been a while. Glad you could join. Glad I can be here. Um, it was a rough week. Long week, busy week. Just kind of getting back. We had a whole lot of tool trials to complete. Things which needed to be done, a lot of hours, but successfully done so. Happy about it, and I'm looking at a 3-day weekend. Let's see if it happens. Today's Friday. I had off today, and it actually worked. So we'll see what happens with the rest. Cheers, guys. Oh, sorry. Lovely little mug. Some of you might be able to tell what this is. Hold on. There, it says it in there. Tim Hortons is a collector's cup, I believe. Compliments of Brad. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, it's not Tim Hortons coffee. He sent that last year as part of the package, and it was just fantastic. So, very much enjoying the mugs. Thank you. Anyway, shaving, as you can tell. It's been a bit of a rough week. I haven't shaved one bit. Basically, I came home, ate, took a shower, and lights out. It was that kind of work week. Shave. Today, hold on. I just basically grabbed something which I fancied, which should be incidentally, you know, if there's any wishes or anything like that, I do, you know, I'll try to accommodate as much as I can, if I do have it. So if you do have any wishes that you want to see something used, you know, leave it in the comments. Just hit me up. If I don't have it, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to decline. But if I do have something along that line, I'll do what I can. Today it is Haslinger. German pronunciation Haslinger. It is Meeresalgen. What is it? Seaweed is the translation. And I got that in last year at my mom's, so I took it along. You know, some of you might know I was in Germany for Christmas vacation, and it was sitting there, so I took it home and dying to use it. Now, Haslinger typically isn't problematic soap. It's easy to lather, very slick, very well made. If you want to see the puck, here it is. It is a hard puck. And when they say hard puck, they mean hard puck. And all I do is just put it in here. It's not soaked or anything. I don't bloom it or soak it in any kind of way because it does lather up fairly easily. And why would I? So yeah, razor today. I know you guys might be sick of seeing this thing. This is the Bakelite Sonnal Slant, which I also got during the Christmas vacation kind of pickup deal. And it's the previous shaves that I've had were extremely encouraging. Let's put it this way. Very smooth, but efficient, and I really like the shave. So I'm just kind of, today I felt like it. I want to see what else it does, especially with this blade. Hold on. This is the Isana, made in Germany. This is one of the pharmacy brands, and you can get it for I think €1.50 for 10. So not the cheapest blade, but not the most expensive either, and it's readily available. So I'll just kind of, every now and then, you'll see that blade pop up too, just to see how it does. It's not the smoothest blade in the world, but it's by no means rough or uncomfortable. So yeah, along that line, we'll go and use it. Brush for today, come on, focus, the Wilkinson Sword. I'd say this is a pure badger, and also fairly inexpensive. Been soaking here for about 10-15 minutes. fairly inexpensive, 15 euros. I got that during my vacation. I saw that and I just had to pick it up. It is a, if you can see that, will you focus? Will you? Hello? Maybe. Wilkinson sword, GmbH, made in Germany. If you see that right there, that's an injection molding mark. And that is a date code. So this thing has been injection molded. That's my kind of deal. I'm a plastic guy, injection molding. So fairly inexpensive handle also. And we'll just see how it performs. So let's get the blade loaded. And yeah, slant razors. Kind of a thing for me here lately. I don't know. Might be just a little craze or something like that. Oh, hold on. Now, the way I load these slant razors, pretty much all of them, I gotta look past the camera to see. Basically what I do is I put the blades on the posts and then I hope this will show up. Basically press down in the center, like, and while I'm doing this I can adjust that the blade exposure is equal. Pinch it, and this is why a little bit of overhang is actually quite beneficial. Pinch it in there so it doesn't pop out or anything like that or move, and then just carefully put the base plate on there and screw shut. And most of the time the exposure is fairly equal. Focus? There we go, focus. Fairly equal. As you can see, it doesn't have a whole lot of blade showing in there, which possibly contributes to the fact that it is a very smooth shaving razor. There's no blade chatter. Blade is held in there very tightly. And yeah, as far as slants goes, I do have a small selection. Meanwhile, I got the Maggard slant, which I load the same way, but it can be a little more difficult, but they do state so on the website, which is a nice thing, so I can appreciate the honesty on Maggard's behalf that there are manufacturing tolerances that this razor head is subjective to, and that not all of them can line up properly. It is a possibility. Now this Maggard is a little more efficient. It's smooth nonetheless, but as you can see, the blade shows a little more, and it isn't held in place quite as tight as with the Sonnal. Then I have the Makua 39C. This is the long handled version of the 37. Barber pole handle, quite hefty, and very, very nice razor. I can recommend this to anybody. I take it the head design does not vary according to Makua's website between the 37 and the 39. So going off of that head, fantastic razor. If you want to get into slant razors, because I've been asked in the past in the comments what would I recommend, I can recommend the Makua, both 37 and 39 being the same head. Just, you know, a matter of what you prefer, longer handle or shorter handle. Very, very smooth shaving. Or, well, let me just kind of clear this off. Now this is a different handle. I do apologize. The original handle is somewhere out there. This is the German 37 slant from Razor Rock, Italian barber. It is a 3-piece design. The Makua is a 2-piece. I'll just show you what that means for those of you who do not know. 2-piece. The base plate is attached to the handle. 3-piece you just saw with the Sonnal. There's a separate top cap, a base plate, and a handle. Same design as this, and they got very close to the geometry of the 39/37C of the Makua, which is this is based off of. Basically, they ripped the design since Makua gave up the patents, I believe, a couple of years back. Some people have been jumping on that, and they did a very good job at it. To be quite honest, if you're looking at a somewhat inexpensive way to get into a slant razor, you know, at the very beginning, because they can be very efficient. That's kind of the thing. You don't feel it, but they can be. I do recommend that German 37 slant from RazorRock. Fairly inexpensive way to get into things. If you, like I said, the Makua is not far off and is the original and very well made. But if you're just wanting to try that RazorRock, if it's still available, I'd have to look. I'll leave the answer here if it's still on their website. Other than that, maybe getting a used one, a used Makua. The slants are often available for a sale for people that didn't like them. That does not mean it's a bad razor. It's just, you know, they didn't get along with it. So, you know, just one of those things. It took me a little while to get along with a slant, but like I said, we'll be using this. So, wow, quite a while's in, a lot of talking. Let's get some lathering going here. Shaking out the brush, not too hefty. I want a fairly wet brush because this is a fairly hard soap. And the reason that I'm using this cup, this lathering cup, is there's a little indent in there which sort of holds the soap in place. It does rotate, but it doesn't slosh around in there. Alright, that's good enough. So yeah, plenty. As you saw, that didn't take long. Now let's get some water on the face. It has been a while since I've been out of the shower. Just been doing things around the house today. A little bit of laundry, a little bit of dishes, you know, this stupid stuff. So let's get going here. Hold on. I'm not going to waste anything. Just taking the stuff off the cup. There we go. Now this isn't the biggest knot, but fairly soft. Still needs to be run in. It's still a bit prickly, but not bad. For the 15 bucks it cost me. Oops. Oh, as you can see, hold on. Here we go. That's something you haven't seen before yet. Got that while I was visiting the store, Tampa Shave Company. Ooh, okay, we're gonna need some water. Haslinger is notoriously thirsty. There we go. Excellent soap. Absolutely love this stuff. Really don't use it enough, but it is very thirsty. I'm dipping the tips here heavily. So yeah. Neighbors leaving? There's one downside to this house. The walls are terribly thin. I noticed that while it was really cold here. And we just got through a cold spell with some snow, which is basically big drama here in South Carolina. Southerners don't do well with cold weather, snow and ice. All my friends up north, Canada, or New England states, they're probably laughing about this. but it was chaos pure. I mean, it was just nuts. I mean, the temperatures got cold. Yesterday morning it was 10 degrees, which is cold for around these parts. I know some of you have negative temperatures, like negative 25 and stuff like that, but you gotta think about it. This is the south. First of all, our heating systems, I mean, I don't have a furnace, I have a heat pump. That doesn't do very well in cold weather, to be quite honest. It's here for when it gets around 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, it'll keep the house adequately warm when it gets into the 30s. Anything past that, it's basically, yeah, it's done. So, yeah. And I noticed that my house is not very well insulated. It got cold here. So, anyway, blah, 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 blah. Wow, 15 minutes in and we're not even shaving yet. So, anyway, Sonnal with an Isana blade second shave. We'll see how this goes. Smooth. Oh, well, alright. Lather seems to be well hydrated. Rinse as well. I'm gonna have to look what other blade I've used this razor with. I think it was a Gillette 7 o'clock. Might have been. Very light razor. And I've got 4 days of growth. And this is just chewing through it. Very comfortable. Very nice scent on that. On that Haslinger. Mild scented, as all Haslingers are. But it's kind of a fresh ocean breeze kind of thing, kind of an aqua scent a little bit. Nice. And with that much growth, yeah, you do get a little bit of a, not tugging, but you definitely know you've got some growth on the face. But nonetheless, this thing is not stopping. Let me just... get the contours. Well done. As you can see, how the lather gathers underneath. Hardly any clogging. Well designed for such a, well, let's call it old razor. There's still plenty of slickness on the face. So, yeah, wow. Haslinger really has not disappointed me yet. If you're asking what I'm doing here, while I have no lather on, I'm just trying to get the edges here of the stash cleaned up, so I don't have to do that with lather on it and then misjudge. And all of a sudden you've got half of the stash gone. Wouldn't want that now, would we? I know certain people that would. But, right. Pass number 2 against the grain. As you guys can see, plenty of lather in this little brush left. This has probably got to be a 18 mil knot, something like that. I've got to take some measurements. If I don't forget, I'll put it in here. If I do forget, I apologize. It is still losing a hair or two. That's a badger. But nothing of concern. I mean, you know, this is like what, the second or third use on this brush. So still running in. As you can see, fairly dense lather. Let's go against the grain. Okay. Now, while there is resistance, so basically telling me this blade does not have the sharpness or the cutting power as maybe a 7 o'clock yellow or in the set. It's not dragging or anything like that or pulling. It's still comfortable, but you could feel the resistance. I just needed to hold on to the handle a little bit more, not press down, just hold on to it to just kind of keep it moving. There's a little bit of drag. Like I said, this is where a very, very light razor kind of has some issues. You can skip. And then the possibilities of you cutting yourself are there. So while I'm holding onto the handle a little firmer, trying not to be ham-fisted and press down like some idiot. Just keep good skin contact with a light razor. Very nice. It's definitely cutting really good. That's what I like about this razor. It's a very smooth shaving, nice and efficient. It just does the job really nicely. Fairly easy to find the angle. And even around here where I typically have some issues with a little bit of pulling, just you know, it gets uncomfortable quick here, just the way the hair is sitting and growing. And a lot of razors have some issues with it. This one doesn't, oddly enough. There we go. As you can see, plenty of residual slickness on this soap. That's just a nice coating. That keeps things moving. Bakelite is not necessarily known as the slickest material. A chrome-plated or nickel-plated metal razor will move with less resistance. Yeah. Let's get some water on the face. Wow, very slick. Now, as with any other Haslinger video that I've made, a lot of people are under the misconception that Haslinger is made of sheep's milk or something like that. That is not the case. There is one that is made with sheep's milk and is called such, Schafsmilch. That is the only one that is made with sheep's milk. Besides that, I've noticed all of the different selections of Haslinger have a little bit of a different ingredients list. Hold on, I've saved this one. They all have tallow in it, but you know, depending on what flavor they are, they have a different ingredient list. But a lot of them actually have something in there that could cause some people some problems. This one contains peanut oil. There's a bunch of others that contain peanut oil. So that is something to keep in mind if you've got a peanut oil allergy, which seems a little more prevalent in the US than it is in Europe, oddly enough. That might become an issue. If you're heavily allergic to peanut oil, be careful. Read the ingredients list, because there we go, there's another one. I don't want anybody all of a sudden in need of a EpiPen or something like that. They have to be submitted in the hospital just because they used shave soap. So as always in life, if you're heavily allergic to something, certain products or ingredients can be in items that you do not expect them to be in. Read your ingredients. Other than that, this soap is fantastic. As you saw, this is basically the pickup pass. There's still a ton in this little knot. There we go. And I didn't lather all too long. Pickup time. The usual trouble spots. I did get to watch some videos today, which was fantastic, while doing some of the chores. Happy birthday, Spence. I didn't know it was your birthday. Saw that mail call video. Fantastic products you got there. So yeah, happy birthday, and hope you had a nice celebration amongst the family, partied a little bit. There we go. There's a little divot here. There we go. Got it. I believe he turned 21. Wow. That's a number of years past. So all the best to you, and hopefully it'll be a good year, and to many more. Cheers. Oh, hold on. Come on, mate. Cheers. Let's see. That is it. Alright, I'll rinse off and then I'll be back with the post. Hold on. Before I rinse off, this is what the lather looked like. Very nice sheen on that. Focus. There we go. Now I'll rinse off. And we're back. Whew. Very nice. Now, Haslinger, this particular one doesn't leave your skin dry or anything like that, but it's not overly moisturized. It is very slick while washing it off. That's one thing to keep in mind. Basically, when it's still wet, that stuff is slicker than Yeti snot. So, post shave. Witch hazel. So yeah, this stuff is absolutely brilliant. Since he always calls it smoky bacon. It does have a resemblance, kind of smell-ish there for a second. But it doesn't smell like smoky bacon. Just the alcohol with the witch hazel is something that kind of conjures up that scent a little bit. Right, so while this is drying in. Oh, awesome shave. Really liked it. Shaved with, hold on. Rinse that off a little bit. Bakelite razor, Slant, made by Sonnal. Sonnal. Vintage. I'm not even going to guess when this was made. I take it probably 60s, 50s, somewhere along that line. Excellent little razor, very light. Very efficient, very smooth. In it, I had a Izana. What is that? Izana made in Germany. I think it's a chrome blade. Comes in these little tucks. Has a little, like paper backing on it. Excellent blade, made in Germany. And worked fantastically in this razor. So all blades that I've used up until now in that razor have worked well. Interesting. Now, soap of the day was the Haslinger Meeresalgen. The Haslinger seaweed. Fantastic stuff. Really like the scent. It's very kind of, first of all, Haslinger, never has any boof kind of scents that are in your face. They're always very, very in the background, very mild, but nonetheless enjoyable. But this one, like I said, seaweed. You get that fresh sea breeze kind of scent. Very enjoyable, very refreshing. Skin feels great. Feeling really good. So yeah, lathered that up, and it didn't take long. Unbloomed. Here we go. You can see that. Just in there, popped it in there, and started lathering with a wet brush. I don't know, about 10 second-ish kind of deal. With this, a very inexpensive pure badger. Very soft, not much backbone, so maybe with a boar brush you probably wouldn't have to lather that much at all. A Wilkinson sword, pure badger that I got recently. Very nice, and held plenty of it. So kind of impressed with the brush, with the soap, and of course that razor. Fantastic shave. Great way to get 4 days. 4 days? Could have been 5. Anyway, a lengthy amount of stubble out of the way. Fantastic. This is very close. DFS plus possibly. A little bit here, a little bit there. Rest is gone. Loving it. Since this was somewhat of a fresh scent, I'll be using some Aqua Velva Ice Blue, the classic. Shake it a little bit. Haven't used it in a while. And yes, I decanted it before anybody asks, hey, where did you get that bottle from? This bottle is from my mom's basement. I think it held some sort of liqueur or something like that she got many, many years ago, and the empty bottle was sitting there. So I took it and decanted it. Now, this does not have any sort of restrictor on it, so typically what I do is I put the finger on top and just get out a little bit, something like that. A little bit of a tingle here and there, where it always tingles, because I have to buff in those areas just a little bit more in order to get the stubble. but nothing to start screaming about. Ooh, the menthol's kicking in. Yes, this aftershave is mentholated. Very nice, fresh, sporty scent. Classic, really nice. Absolutely dig this stuff. So once this... I don't have a towel here to do the Cincy shaves thing. To get the moisture back in, because I've needed it the last couple of days with all the cold temperatures, I'm using this, the Nivea Care Intensivpflege, basically intensive care. Stuff that I got in Germany last year. Nice cream. Comes in a somewhat unisex-ish kind of scent. Might be a little on the feminine side for some, but it's not perfumey or any kind of way. It doesn't smell flowery or anything like that, but it is a little on the feminine side. Regardless, Aqua Velva will overpower that easily. And don't forget your under eye zones. Taking care of that a little bit. There we go. Who says we can't look good, huh? Come on. Anyway, this is about it. Thank you for sticking with me. I know this was a lengthy video. I hope you liked in the beginning the, just kind of going through the different types of slant razors. Those are the ones that I have. I have one more, which I almost forgot. It's the RazoRock Slant. I know this is the stainless steel version of what they call the stealth slant when it's in black. This is just a plain stainless steel, which complements a brad melling. Fairly smooth, very heavy, extremely nice bit of machining that was done on that razor. Fantastic little thing, but all the others, hopefully that give you some sort of information, in case you do want to get into slants. They're very, very good razors. Not for everybody, everybody's different. Everybody has different preferences as far as how their shave goes. Some people like this razor, some people like that razor. And slants are just another type. They hold the blade a little different. The ones that I have are all what is referred to in German as Torsionshobel, basically a torsion type twist. So the blade gets torqued in there and held in place, which typically gives it a little more rigidity. And yeah, due to the angle that the blade is sitting in, it tends to give you a smoother cutting motion, or a smoother cut, period. It is what it is. I hope you give them a try. I hope you venture into slants if you, or a lot of you already have a slant, and yeah, I hope you guys like it as much as I do. That being said, cheers to you guys. Hope you have a good weekend. We'll see what comes up tomorrow and on Sunday, and yeah, all the best. Cheers.